Hey everyone! I wanted to show you guys what I'm going to be planting tomorrow. So my mom and my sister are actually going to come help me tomorrow, which is super exciting because I get to share the planting joys with them. So I'm going to show you just some of the plants that I'm going to be planting tomorrow. There's a bunch. Most, if not all, of my seedlings are going to go out into the garden tomorrow. I'm very, very ready for that. There are some, like the peppers, that I'm going to wait to transplant out into the garden until the nighttime temperatures don't dip below 50. I just have done a lot of research, and from the people that I've watched in the videos that I've watched on peppers, they recommend to hold off planting your seedlings outside until the nighttime temperatures don't go below 50. 49 is okay, 48. When it starts getting lower than that, then it's just too much for the plants, and they tend to not grow as vigorously as they would if you wait. So I'm just going to show you the plants, go over how I'm going to plant them in the raised bed area, and then tomorrow you'll see on the next video just us planting the varieties, and kind of more quick because there's a lot of planting to do. This is lavender, or hyssop lavender. So this is like a plant used for teas and just herbal remedies and stuff like that. So I'm actually gonna have my husband Mike is gonna help me build another raised bed for my herb garden area to put this stuff in. Some of the herbs, like the basil leftover that I have, is gonna go into my green stock that I have now. So I'm gonna fill that up with some herbs and just some stuff that doesn't get super huge, like thyme and chives and just some different stuff like that. As I go and I have more space out in the garden, then I will plant them into the garden, because some of that stuff is going to perennialize for me. Here I have some cauliflower that is going to go out into the raised bed garden area. Same with the rhubarb plants, that is going to go into its own bed that we are going to be building as well. And then here I have bee balm, which is a flower. This is going to go into the landscape in different areas. I have a variety here and a variety right there. This is all celery, so that's probably going to go out into the garden area as well, in the in-ground garden area. I'm probably gonna have it along the front of that whole area so I can mount it up. These look super, super amazing. And then here I have echinacea. This is the purple cone flower. And this one is gonna go into the landscape. Also, I'm just gonna tuck it in here and there in the garden spaces because it is a great pollinator attractor. So when those flowers bloom, a lot of bees and just different insects are really attracted to those, so I'm gonna do that as well. Rosemary is gonna go into the green stalk. You can smell it already when you put your fingers on the leaves. Oh, it smells so good. So I'm gonna have to separate those out. I might plant it with some companion plants that I wrote down in the garden, maybe just tuck a plant in here or there. Most of that is gonna go into the green stalk or be given away. Here I have a lot of brassicas. So this is cabbage that's gonna go out into the raised bed area, along with my broccoli and my Brussels sprouts, all into the raised bed area as much as I can fit. So I have a lot of plants. I don't know how much space I'm gonna have for all of this stuff. So some of it is gonna go to family and friends, whatever I have left over. And that makes me super excited too, because I get to share, you know, having them grow something too, and knowing that it came from a start that I started. I just want to bless people and be able to give them that. We're gonna do that with the leftovers. This is a Mexican sunflower. It's gonna go into the landscape. These get pretty big. I think they're 4 to 5 feet tall. And then here I have chives, which is gonna go into the green stalk along with my thyme. Like I said, the bee balm is gonna go into the landscape area. This is all peppers right here and right here. Those are going to go out into the raised bed area as well, but these are not going to go out yet until, like I said, the nighttime temperatures don't go underneath 50 degrees. I'm going to give those another round of fertilizer tomorrow. When we plant out the tomatoes, I am going to up pot all of my peppers because I will have more space in my shelving area under the grow lights to keep these in there. I might actually see if the temperature, if I move my little greenhouse outside, I might actually see if the temperature stays 50 degrees if I close it outside. I might just do that with them so they keep on hardening off for another week or so before I can plant them outside. All of the tomatoes, as many as I can, are going to go into the raised bed area. I do have determinate and indeterminate varieties. An indeterminate variety is a plant that you prune that needs support, that grows an indeterminate amount of length, and it produces an indeterminate amount of fruit. So it keeps fruiting as you prune it, as you help it stake up and support it, it will keep growing and keep producing more blooms, which therefore turn into fruit. And then the determinate variety is a plant that gets a determined size and it produces a determined amount of fruit. You don't have to prune those. You can plant them closer together because they don't get as big. They don't need as much room. I'm gonna see, I might do indeterminate in one of my beds and then do determinate in the other one, just depending on how many plants I can fit into each one. And then I do have some cherry varieties. There's a variety called Cherry Falls, which I'm going to put in a hanging basket on either side of my garden. I have like the big shepherd hook, like the black hook, that I'm gonna put hanging baskets on and then put the Cherry Falls cherry tomatoes in those. So that's going to be really cool. I think I only have like 4 or 5 plants of those. So I'm going to see how much room they need, and if I can fit 2 in one hanging basket, I might do that. And then I have Sun Gold, which is a pole cherry tomato. So that one is going to need some staking, some support. So I thought about tucking that in on one of the trellises or using the panel and just having one plant going up the end of the panel. I'm going to have a lot of extra plants that I'm not going to be able to fit into my garden. So those will be going to family as well and some friends. Smells so good. I cannot wait for a tomato sandwich this summer. Not gonna lie, very excited. And then over here, these 3 trays are all asparagus. This perennializes. How asparagus works is the first year, obviously, it's just tiny, ferns out. And then the second year, it will produce spears, but you're not supposed to harvest it until the 3rd year. Some people have harvested some of it the 2nd year. They've done fine. They've came back, and the 3rd year they've produced a lot. So it just kind of depends on, you know, what you want to do. Personally, I don't know. I mean, I'm probably not going to say no to maybe like 1 harvest of spears for 1 meal. That 2nd year, those are going to need its own bed, so we're going to need to build that and the bed for the rhubarb, because that all needs its own space so that it can do what it needs to do. That is all the things that we're going to be planting tomorrow. When I plant the peppers outside, I am also going to plant seeds for cucumbers and squash and corn and all the things that like the heat. I am going to put seeds in the ground then for all those things that I didn't start from seed, that didn't need the extra amount of time to grow. That is what we're going to be doing tomorrow. I'm so ready to plant these into my garden. Just see how everything does. Like, it's just so exciting. So I'm just gonna go out here real quick and show you guys where I'm kind of thinking about all of my varieties, so you can kind of come with me on the journey. Oh, I can't wait. This is gonna be green. Oh, so exciting. Take a moment to appreciate this lawn. I am really impressed with how it came in. It's almost to the height where we can mow it the first time. So really pumped for that. Okay, so in the bed to my left, I have peas on the end of this arched trellis. I am going to do indeterminate tomatoes on the outside of the panel, so closest to the woods. I'm going to fit as many as I can in there so that they have a staking system with this panel. What I was saying about the Sun Gold, maybe tucking it in on this end and staking it just to the pole on the outside, because that one needs, and then it can kind of drape, you know, over the side of this. This front area is all going to be peppers. I'm going to stick some basil plants in here as well, because basil is a very good companion plant for peppers and tomatoes. Supposedly it makes the flavor and the yield a lot better. Excited to try that. And then in this bed, we're actually going to need to do another panel, because I'm going to do my determinate tomatoes that stay a certain size in this bed, along with probably more peppers depending on how many plants I want to stick in here. I'm gonna leave, see, the thing is, I'm kind of stuck because I still have a lot of cabbage and like brassica and stuff like that. I do have room in this bed right here. I'm gonna put a cucumber on the end of this and as well on the other side. I do have like this room right here that I can fit maybe 2 brassicas in or something like that. There is kohlrabi in here. It's actually coming up now. That's exciting. Can you see that? Yay! Beets, carrots, and stuff like that. Over here, I have a lot more extra room, and the radishes will be coming out, you know, sooner than everything else. So I have this whole block that I can fit brassicas in. So I might do that, just put them all in here, maybe just stick some smaller stuff over in that side. Yeah, so I planted a lot of seeds and a lot of them came up, so I have a lot of plants, which is kind of nice because, you know, I can pick through them and really get the varieties that I'm really excited to try. Then in this pot over here, I'm gonna put a pickle cucumber, and then we're gonna add more either smaller sticks to this arch or have an eye hook and string for that cucumber to then grow up over this arch. Same with this side, I have a cucamelon, which is just a tiny cucumber. I'm gonna put that in that pot and then have it grow on this side. I was gonna put flowers on the arbor, but right now I really wanna use the room for just all the varieties that I started, because I would like to try all the varieties that I started. At least try one plant because I grew it and so I want to taste it. And then back here, the in-ground garden space that you can see is where I'm thinking about putting the celery along the front of the space. This is going to be like squash and corn and pumpkins and watermelon. So what I'm planning on doing is also growing my beans in here. So I read a post that said to plant your beans with your corn, because the beans will then grow up the corn stalks and they provide nitrogen for the corn, which is nice because then you don't need a trellising system. You don't need something for them to grow on. They grow on the corn and the corn likes it. And so we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it and see how it goes. I want to make so that the vines of the squash and the watermelon and the pumpkins go out the back so that they're not growing into the grass over here. And I'm gonna have like wood chips spread along the back side of that so everything's kept clean, so it's not laying on the dirt or anything like that. It'll also help with moisture and stuff like that. Then I have this other panel, which is probably gonna go into this other bed, and then I'm just gonna figure out something else if I want to trellis a squash or a zucchini up. But what I thought about is getting another panel like this, cutting it in half, and then staking the back so there would be 2 stakes at the back of the trellis. It would like slant up in 45-degree angle or something like that, and then plant the plants at the front and have them grow up the trellis. And then I can put like spinach or something underneath that likes the shade, things like that. That is what we're gonna do tomorrow. And I'm really excited to get all this stuff into my gardens, watch it grow, and for this weather to finally break and give us some beautiful, warm weather. I'm not gonna say I'm ready for summer yet, but I am ready for summer. I love springtime. I love all that it brings. The excitement of new growth and stuff like that, but I am also ready for consistently warm, sunny, beautiful days. I think that's everything that I wanted to cover. Just kind of show you guys what we're going to be doing tomorrow. That video, when it goes up, will just be a lot of just getting things into the ground, just kind of the whole project in itself. So I wanted to kind of show you what we're going to be doing tomorrow. Alrighty, well that is going to be it for today. I will see you guys tomorrow, and happy planting. Bye. Pixel, come. Come, Beto. Say hi. Say hi. Are you all dirty again? Yeah. Okay. Come, Pixel.